going to be, more than anything, a blackout read, okay? That means there's not going to be any cards that I'm going to use to, you know, solidify anything that I'm saying. What I'm saying to you guys, you're not going to get somewhere else, okay? Um, this is something that has been uh, tossed around with knowledgeable people, okay, before I said anything. So, for that reason, uh, I'm in my authority to be able to speak about something that maybe I have some knowledge of that everybody else may not have knowledge of. And some of you who have this knowledge, you will say, how come I did not speak on these things sooner? Anybody who's in the United States of America or anywhere else in the world, if you notice, there has been a change in the weather. This is not based on global warming as people have dubbed it. The people who know. So we have encountered an ice age that has lasted approximately 10, maybe 20 years. Deep freeze, okay? Maybe 30 years. Why is this? This is because due north is no longer due north. Due south is no longer due south. The change in the polarity here on earth has altered the weather. It's not because of people smoking cigarettes. It's not because of contrail. No, this is big government regulation. This is, we're going to regulate things unless you pay us some money. Okay. The reason why there is a such thing as global warming, okay, which is areas are becoming hotter than normal, areas are becoming colder than normal. Okay. I'll give you an example here. Let me see. Do I have anything? I do. Let me show you how this works. So this is the Earth. This is north. This is south. Scientists go measure that North Pole once, twice, three times a year. Okay. When they first went to measure it, I believe it was like maybe 1932 or something like that. The North Pole wasn't north. It was slightly different. Since that time, okay, if this is the Earth and upright, since that time, the North Pole and the South Pole are like that. Okay, just for illustration purposes. Okay, here we go. The Earth is like that. All right. So is the pole. The pole has changed. If this is the Earth and upright, north is over here, south is over there. It could be over there. Wherever it's moving, okay, it's not due north, due south. Okay. Why is this? This is because the Earth has the ability to regenerate itself, and it does. It has a reset button over a period of time. If you live in the Northeast United States, you last year encountered a winter storm that you had never seen before. Okay. Why is this? Because the North Pole and the South Pole gave you a big bang on its way out. Now, if you live in the Northeast, how much snow did you get this year? Did you get any snow at all? Probably not. Okay. Now, with this being said, this should give you an indication of exactly what's going on here. Okay. You should get an indication of exactly what's going on here with no question or hesitation at all. All right. Because the poles are moving, the places that would generally be hot are becoming frozen and then gradually becoming cold. Why is this? Because due north is no longer due north and due south is no longer due south. What type of effect is this having on humankind? Well, If you're used to things being cold in the wintertime, you're noticing you don't have cold. You're noticing the water is not freezing. You're noticing that the temperature is too warm. Now, what is this doing? Okay. What this is doing is this is altering plant life, aquatic life. Okay. This is going to cause a big disturbance in our ecosystem. Okay. By springtime, you're going to see lots of dead fish. Okay. Why? Because the fish rely on the seasons changing, okay, for survival. This is something that they're used to. If you take a person and you move a person to Alaska, where you have approximately 6 months of daylight, 6 months of nighttime, some type of balance in between, right? Because of where the sun rises and sets and where Alaska is, okay? If you took a person and you stuck them there for 6 months or a year, they would go crazy. They would. This would be something that they would not be used to. Just a sudden change in what they're used to will cause depression and loss of life. Okay. This is why, for example, in Alaska, there's some benefits to being there, and then there's some extreme drawbacks. Okay. The Euphrates River has dried up, has it not? Well, this has already been predicted. Once the Euphrates River dries up, the Antichrist will come. Okay. This is how come now you see a war in Palestine. The war in Palestine, okay, is taking place presently and currently, okay, because in order for the Antichrist to come, there are two churches that need to be rebuilt. Once these two churches are rebuilt, they are both in Palestine, the Antichrist can come. The Antichrist cannot be released until this takes place. This is all divine timing, okay? Before the Antichrist is released, the beast of the earth will be released, okay? This is something that local government is very aware of. They have protocols for this. This is how come most governments are stockpiling ammunitions, okay, because they understand that something else is going to take place. When these beasts are released, it's going to kill off 2/3 of the Earth's population. You don't believe me? That's fine. I'm telling you things that you don't know so that you might have knowledge of it. Now, a lot of people are aware that the Antichrist is alive, well, and right here on the face of the earth. Well, how come nobody is discovering him? Well, I think you would be wrong to ask that question. But there's a perfectly good reason as to why. So, where the Antichrist is currently chained up, unable to be released, okay, is right up under everybody's nose. But where is he closer to? The United States of America. Where is he located? In the Bermuda Triangle. How do we know this? There, so the Prophet Muhammad in Islam, he was met by Christian crusaders who told them that while they were on a journey traveling across the sea, they came across a landmass where the men who were on mountainous plains were covered in hair from head to toe. When they exited the boats and approached the land with their swords drawn, one of the hairy men met them and said, "Somebody would like to see you." They took these Christian crusaders directly to the Antichrist, who asked them some questions, including whether or not the Euphrates or the Tigris River had dried up. There's a reason he's concerned about this, because he knows that once this happens, he is nearer to being released. The Antichrist is bound with his hands holding his neck. He is chained at his waist. He is chained at his feet. He is not allowed to be released until the Creator releases him. Do you wonder if the United States government has knowledge of this? Well, Google it and find out. What protocols does the United States have in place for the release of the Antichrist? You'll be shocked and discovered at what you see, including the plan when this happens to usher in a imam who is like a pastor, priest, cleric of an Islamic community. The reason being is because the Islamic community, with respect to the Antichrist, they have answers that nobody else has. They know how to deal with this like nobody else does. Okay. Now, I'm going to fast forward. What landmass in the history of mankind has been discovered and alleged to have mountainous areas with men covered in hair? There was a pilot who traveled inside the Bermuda Triangle, and this is what he saw. So this is how we know where the Antichrist is and how come the United States government is protecting that area. Why? It's probably at the direction of the Jewish community, because the Jewish community does not have access to this area. It is not owned or governed by Jewish people. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Getting back to what I was saying, because of this, we know where the Antichrist is. And this is how come the United States government forbids travel in that area. How do we know again? Because this pilot who entered into that area documented what he saw, okay? And this can be found on the internet, okay, through archives and records, all right? So this is how we put the link between the two things. So it would seem unusual to a person who possibly does not have any knowledge of what exactly this pilot is taking a look at. And the only way to discover it would be to study Islam, which is why, since we are nearing that time, the United States government made it their business to turn the eye away from Islam as the truth and way of life, to prevent people from seeing things that they wouldn't normally see if they were to take a look in the Revelations or anywhere from head to toe of the Bible. So since the Euphrates River is dried up now, we know for a fact the beasts are soon to be released. This is how come the Israeli army has gone down into the caverns, okay, that exist there, looking both for gold, precious gems and stones, as well as these giants, also referred to in biblical text as Nephilim. If anybody doesn't believe that these beasts are going to be released, they're foolish. These beasts are going to be released very soon. The reason why the United States is aiding Ukraine is so that when this takes place, the United States government has soil they can put their feet on, where they can dock, so that they can fight the biggest war that the world has ever seen. Beasts, giants. If you guys do research on the giants, you will also find skulls, bones, okay, skeletal remains of these giants. There are many mounds here in this country, the United States of America, that are reminiscent of the era of giants, And most of these mounds cannot be dug because of the skeletal remains beneath. If you look at the size of these mounds, that is a perfect depiction of exactly what's there. Since these people were too big to bury, they just came and put dirt and put dirt and put dirt and put rocks and put dirt and put dirt and put dirt and put rocks to cover up the stank. Okay? So these giants existed. These giants still exist. Israeli government is exploring the caverns of the Euphrates River at this current moment to see strategically how the giants must be addressed. When these giants are released, again, they're going to kill off 2/3 of the world's population. Again, these are things that you guys might not understand, you may not believe at the current moment, but I can guarantee you within the next 2 years, not only are you going to see areas that never saw snow be covered in snow, and the areas that are generally covered in snow melting away and becoming new travel locations, you're also going to find that half of the earth is going to be covered in snow very soon because of this. So when the North and the South poles move, they create a ripple effect in tectonic plates. When these ripple effects in tectonic plates occur, you have massive tsunamis, you have massive earthquakes. These are things that we have been seeing gradually over the years, and nobody has equated the two together. There is nothing that can be done to stop what has already been put in place to occur. But the United States government, other governments across the world, they're not speaking of this. And because they're not speaking of this, this is going to take the world by surprise. So, is there going to be a Christmas next year? This is something that, we don't have, specific knowledge of at this time. Is the beast of the earth going to be released this year? Well, I can tell you this. I can tell you as long as the Israeli Defense Force is crawling into caverns, okay, beneath the what used to be the Euphrates River, bombing and exploring these areas, thinking that they're going to find something, they're going to release the beast. There's videos all over the internet of the yells and screams and cries of the giants, which is what sent the Israeli Defense Force into the caverns. Now, with this being said, again, what's going to occur first? The beast being released from the earth. What are the beasts of the earth? The giants, also referred to in biblical texts as Nephilim, also referred in Quranic texts as the people of Juj and Majuj, Gog and Magog. You need to look it up. This is what's going to happen in the immediate future. At this time, world powers will come together because world powers will be under pressure. They're going to lose many, many men, many, many women, many, many children. When the earth is covered half in snow, half livable plains, this is again is just a reset of the earth. Okay, this is the same thing that killed off the dinosaurs. This is just the earth hitting the reset button. Now, how do we know that this is going to happen? Because God says in Quranic text, He says, and it shall come to pass, okay, that the coming hour will be near when the sun rises from the east and sets in the west. And whosoever shall be alive on the face of the earth at that time will then have faith. No good will it avail them to have faith then if they did not have faith before. Just these two facts that I have given you guys is enough for me now to walk away and feel like my message is complete. Okay. Obviously, there's no questions. We do have viewers. Okay. I'm just going to presume that people are just amazed. Okay. But give it some time. You're going to see this video go viral if none of my videos, okay, none of my videos will exceed the number of views. that this video right here will bring. This video will be shared across different platforms. The numbers will skyrocket. Okay. Scientists will get a hold of this video. They will dissect it. And they will see that everything that I have said is true. And because I'm psychic, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Very soon, I'm going to be met by or called by a world government that's going to ask me about this information that has just been revealed. Why? Because not many people know about it. There's people that know about the Quranic text and biblical text regarding such, okay? But the only two sects of religion that are aware of what's taking place at this time is the Roman Catholics and the Muslims. Because the Roman Catholics know that the Muslims will be put in power at this time is the reason why you see the Pope kiss the Imam's feet every time a Pope is elected. You will find this on YouTube where the Pope will go around after the Muslim feet is washed and he will kiss their feet. This is papacy after papacy. You will find videos on YouTube of your Pope, okay, of the Pope kissing the feet of the Muslims. This is because they are going to be put into power, and it won't matter how much money people have. It's going to boil down to strength in the hearts of men. This is not something that everybody will be pleased to hear, but this is the truth. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the only reason why I built this platform up in the first place was because this information had to be released. I had to prove credibility. I had to prove that this is not a platform that's stuck or stagnant, even though some people have tried to shadow ban this channel, okay, to no avail. The numbers still go up, okay? But you guys are going to see that everything that I have said will come to pass. And at that time, when these things come to pass, okay, which will be very shortly, we have already entered that era where everything that I have told you, you can verify, okay? Just know that within the next 24 months, the world is not going to be what you think it is today. Money isn't going to matter. It will, but not paper currency. Why? What good is paper currency when the world is at war with giants? It's going to boil down to goods and services, not money. Okay? Money's going to be barter and trade. Okay? Anybody who doesn't have access to a farm will be in trouble at that time. Anybody who cannot stay hunkered down will be in trouble at that time. The world is entering a very troubled time. And in Saudi Arabia, women are walking around with no shirts on, panties on. Who would have thought? This goes to show you how things are changing. Things are changing because governments that were tight are becoming loose because they understand what's taking place. You're going to see more earthquakes, larger than ever. You're going to see some extreme tsunamis. You're going to see Florida, the water is going to take back some of that land. Oh, Miami is in trouble. Just watch. You haven't seen harsh hurricanes. You haven't seen harsh tornadoes. You will see those things this year. If you notice, some things have slowed down, almost non-existent. This is for a reason. Okay? The momentum is building up. The momentum is building up. That's all I can say. The momentum is building up. The Antichrist is in the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is protected by U.S. forces. This is for a reason. The United States knows that it has an obligation to protect its home front. So the United States has the Bermuda Triangle surrounded. Even the United States government does not allow its vessels to travel close to where the Antichrist is, the Ad-Dajjal, the false Messiah. But just real quick before I leave, let me tell you a little something about the false Messiah. The way that you will know that the Antichrist is not Christ, one of his eyes will be deformed. This is something that you will not know unless I explain it to you, especially those of you who do not know at all. Is the Antichrist coming out this year? I don't know, but I presume we're going to see some Antichrist type action over the next 12 to 18 months. Who would have knew? Who would have knew that you would have been alive to see something like this? Give it 24 months from today. Give it 24 months. Give it 2 years. You're going to see something that you've never saw before. But now that I have informed the masses, all you have to do is pay attention and do your own research. If you find what I have said to be true, don't hesitate to come back and share the video. If you find that what I have said is true, don't hesitate to send some money in a Cash App. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. Don't hesitate to speak. This is what I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. And until next time, peace.